Yo. What up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday, man. The weekend's coming, baby. Good to see you guys. I had to make an executive decision to not do some gaming stuff today. Part of it's I've got some weird text stuff I've got to get sorted. It's not working the way I want it to, so I've got a little bit of stuff that I need to take today to get things maybe performing optimally a bit. And other than that, I've just got some other life things that I need to take today to focus on getting, stuff scheduled and just normal life stuff, man. I've had some things that have kind of been piling up a little bit, and just life stuff. I just need to get some life stuff taken care of, man. That's what it comes down to. So we'll do the news. The PlayStation showcase is today, but it's like this afternoon at about 3:00 p.m. for us. So we won't be able to watch it today because I won't be streaming after the news segment. So what we'll do is watch a VOD of it tomorrow morning. After the news segment, we'll just watch a VOD of it, okay? And I'm sure we'll get some news about it during the news segment, but we'll hold, we'll still watch the VOD after the news and in between games. We should be starting Castlevania Symphony of the Night tomorrow. It should be a good time. Dude, I had a ton of fun playing the beta testing of Once Human. There were issues. The game needs some polishing. But I'll tell you what, man, I had a lot of fun playing that game. And I'm really looking forward to being able to dive into the game on release. And if they do an open beta, I highly recommend people check it out. I don't know that I would take time to do open beta, because if your progress isn't going to carry over or anything like that, it wouldn't necessarily be worth for me again. But it was a great experience. I provided lengthy feedback for the devs last night, and hopefully I gave enough constructive feedback that they'll be able to take some of that to heart and get some good, in my eyes, needed changes for the game to make it even better than it is. But I'll tell you what, they're hitting on a lot of things that I think a lot of developers miss on nowadays. Quality of life options, details that a lot of games miss on nowadays. It seems like a game that's being made by gamers, which we don't seem like we get all that often anymore. That's refreshing. It's refreshing to be getting a game that feels like it's being made by people that actually play games too, instead of just games being made, by people that don't necessarily know what we want. So, that being said, I hope you guys are doing well. Again, happy Thursday. Let's jump into the news. Cool. Listening to some Bullets Per Minute soundtrack this morning. Amazing first-person shooter rhythm-based roguelike game. Very cool. A lot of fun. Very cool soundtrack too. Check it out. All right. Highly recommend. Pop in here. Let's get it. Funny enough, both of these games being here together are felt very similar to me on PC. Both were bad PC releases. I couldn't even continue to play Hogwarts. It was just too much. I came really close in Elden Ring to shutting that one down too. It was a trudge. Developers have to do better, man. If you're going to release on any platform, it should feel good on that platform. I don't know, man. So that's my take, anyways. We talked about this yesterday. Very good, very good. Really interested to see what Blumhouse is going to bring to the table. You know, they've done a great job over the past decade of bringing in, low budget horror movies that have done very, very well. Low budget movies that have seemed to be very, very good production wise. There's something to be said for that. And I'm interested to what they're going to be able to do on the side of their gaming venture here. Hopefully the same thing. Looks like Escape from Tarkov server is going to go offline for a little bit. Take a look at that. Give some people some info on when that's going to go down. We already talked about that yesterday. Excuse me. PS4 reveal signals a new generation. See what's going on there. Amazon Games and NCSoft reach a deal to publish what? MMORPG Throne and Liberty? Take a look at that. Yeah, I'll give you the info. I've got a another article bookmarked for how you guys can watch the state of play today. We were gonna watch it live today, but I've had to change the schedule up and not do gaming stuff today, so I won't be back to watch the state of play either. Sorry, we'll watch the VOD tomorrow though. But if you want to watch it live, this later on today, I'll give you the info for how to get that done. Okay. Go look at our other search. It's a bit bleak so far this morning. What does this say? Hmm. Not worth. I don't know. We'll read it. Whatever, dude. There's not a whole lot I'm coming across so far this morning. We'll read it. I'll give you my take on what that author's saying in that article. This is talking about a book. There's a Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars book that could potentially get you hyped up for the new game coming. If you want to go take a look at that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What happened to the GTA 6 leaker? If you guys don't remember, this was like a 17-year-old that got arrested over in London, if I remember correctly, for the as the primary perpetrator in this this hacking endeavor for Rockstar to get all that information. Oh, dude, tell me that it. No, there won't. It's been way over a year for Final Fantasy VII remake. What is this? Square Enix finally fixes broken RPG. Chrono Cross. They still haven't fixed Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. From what I understand, it's still broken on PC. There are community mods that have been made to make the game play pretty good. That's not what people should have to be incorporate though. Square's gotten bad, dude. I do apologize. Man, I'm having trouble kicking this cough. Atari announces the launch of a fully rebuilt and optimized what? Moby Games website? See what that is. See what's going on here. We took a look at this yesterday. The whole we watched like a 7 to 8 minute video of Diablo 4 Sanctuary stuff. Looked pretty good. Ukraine calling for Atomic Heart to be banned across all platforms. Really? Okay, man. Look, we addressed this the other day. I'll bring up this article. We'll read it. We'll talk about the situation surrounding this again. All right. Tekken World Tour 2023 returns. Take a look at that. RE4 remake release date, how to pre-order, everything you need to know, baby. Oh, that's not good. Look, this is not video gaming news, but this is a developer of tabletop RPGs. Wormwood Gaming accused of firing employee for reporting sexual assault and then make some weird video as a response. Yikers, dude. This is video gaming news. I'm not going to dive into that. But sounds like a bad situation. Rip to the creator of the original PlayStation sound, dude. What an iconic sound, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened, hit with a crushing delay. New World. People are still playing this game. People are still playing New World. Is that serious? Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe review. It still sucks. Yeah. That's funny. All right, let's kick this off, dude. Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened hit with crushing delay. The remaster of Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened is delayed because of complications due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Yeah, with so many cinematic and television releases centered on the world's greatest detective, there hasn't been a whole lot of word on Sherlock Holmes's game. Uh, games. One such game, The Awakened, which is apparently a combination of Sherlock Holmes and Call of Cthulhu, has been hit with a crushing delay. Namely, the Ukrainian-based game development studio Frogwares was forced to delay the upcoming remaster due to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. According to Destructoid, before their announcement to delay the game, Frogwares planned to release Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened in February or March this year, but the studio now predicts that the game might be out the door by April if everything goes according to plan. The announcement about the delay was released as a video statement outlining the difficulties the studio is facing since the developer is based in Kiev. Russia's targeting of energy infrastructure implies that the development team has a hard time maintaining a work schedule. The upcoming game is a remaster of the 2007 original, which is the third game of the series, following The Mystery of the Mummy and The Case of the Silver Earring. Originally got mostly positive reviews. Okay. All right. So looks like there's going to be a significant delay on this, though. So if you're anticipating this, prepare for the fact that it's not going to be coming anytime soon. Apparently. All right. New World, which I'm people still play this crazy. Switches to seasonal mode, adds season pass system. New World is, if you didn't know, Amazon's first developed game that they released. They publish a lot of games, so don't be confused by the fact of the difference in publishing and developing games. New World is the first game that they really developed in house and published and put out as well. So it's an MMORPG. It did pretty well on release. It seemed pretty cool. I watched some stuff on it, and unfortunately, what happened was they had some pretty bad issues with any kind of game that's built around a massive online multiplayer environment. It usually has a lot to do with um, shared economy and um, stabilizing that economy and making sure that uh, things aren't exploited. That's a big deal. Unfortunately, it happened in this title. And it really, really, really messed things up. There were some other issues going on in the game too, but there were people that were exploiting the economy. It really, really skewed the game over pretty bad. There were other issues of like bad reporting methods happening. big part of the game is like faction based combat, and they didn't have a good reporting system, so you just have a whole bunch of people from the opposing faction reporting in on the highest ranking members of the faction they were getting ready to fight. It would get the those players banned automatically because of a threshold of a certain number of reports coming in on those players. They'd get automatically banned, and they wouldn't be able to partake in the faction war or whatever. Things like that that were just not doing them any favors, you know. Um, but New World is making a pretty drastic change next month with seasons coming to the game for the first time. Under this new system, we'll see the game adopt the seasonal structure seen frequently in other live service games. And as one might have expected, those new seasons will, of course, be accompanied by season passes too. A preview of what's to come for those confirmed: that players will see a free and premium track available as part of the new season pass model, with things such as marks of fortune, boost tokens, cosmetics, weapons, and armor among some of the items included in the pass. Check this out. Excuse me. I gotta get rid of this cough, man. It's killing me. Here you go. So, one of the things we talk about all the time is the monetization stuff, man. They want you to pay at the least $40 to get in on this game. And now they're incorporating these other systems into the game where they want you to be buying into battle passes, things of that nature, man. So it's just a you know, it's a continual kind of like push to pull as much money as they can out of people. I don't have as much of an issue with the occasional like battle pass and stuff like that out of a game that's closer to being a free to play title. But whenever you're making people pay a substantial amount of money to get into the game in the first place, and then you're also trying to like get microtransaction shop and battle pass stuff and DLC, it's like, man, where does it stop, dude? It's just it's pretty brutal. You can see overall this game has 69 kappa percent positive reviews. That's not very good at over 215,000 reviews. As of recent, it's at about 77% positive, which is not fantastic either. It's not abysmal or anything. Probably not an experience that's going to like blow you away either, though. Preview of what's to come for those confirmed. That players will see a free and premium track available as part of the new season pass model, with things such as marks of fortune, boost tokens, cosmetics, weapons, and armor among some of the items included in the pass. First season to kick things off will be Fellowship of Fire, as it's set to get started on March 28th. If you play pretty much anything else with a seasonal model, the one that New World will have should already look familiar to you. Seasons will last around 3 months. The free and premium tracks offer levels up to 100 to work through. You'll naturally get more from the premium track, but you can't purchase that one until you're at least level 25. Season Pass introduces new ways for players to earn meaningful rewards just by playing New World. Players will earn Season X experience, level up, and unlock rewards as they progress through their seasonal activities. New World Season announcement said, "Our goal with Seasons is to consistently provide something fresh for every type of player." You have to in an MMORPG. If you're not bringing new content in all the time, you're going to lose your player base. Of course, with the introduction of these kinds of rewards and a season pass system, some players may harbor pay-to-win concerns based on the prizes being divvied out here in New World, along with the expectations carried over from other games. A fact for the New World structure addressed that topic too and said all the non-cosmetic premium track rewards can also be earned through the free track and normal gameplay. It added that there would be no gear included in those rewards with gear scores that exceeded 600. Accompanying this baseline season pass system are some accessory features like a seasonal tracker called the Season Journey, which looks to show you how you're doing throughout the current season in terms of progression. Seasonal challenges will be available too to help move you along the season journey, and a new activity stamp card looks to do something similar by tasking players with participating in different activities in exchange for seasonal XP. If you want this link, here you go. Let's look at this. Really? Excuse me. Yeah, this is a better look. That ought to work. Looks like past 7 days. There was about 13, almost 14,000 playing an hour ago. 20 the 24-hour peak was about 24,000. It's not like dead, but if you look at the numbers, right? October of 2021, which is like around when the game released, average players was 410,000, peak 913. That's some terrible Q stuff going on at this point. But I mean, anytime a game like this comes out, it's going to really, really, really be peaked up, right? But this is, you can see a significant drop around this time. Yeah, this is when they start having a lot of their issues, I think. Looks like they had actually brought the player base back up through November of last year, but it's starting to dip again. So, I don't know. We'll see what it does for them trying to bring in these new mechanics and content and stuff, if it brings new players in or anything. But man, my throat is really jacked, guys. I'm sorry. We'll see. I mean, in comparison, you want to take a look at something else. Let's go like Lost Ark. In comparison, a free to play game that honestly I think probably has way better content than New World does. Just from, I've played this, I haven't played New World, but I have seen New World stuff. Now this is published by Amazon, but it's not developed by Amazon. All right. What you can see is this was actually supposed to release as well. This was supposed to be published originally by Amazon at the same time they were releasing New World. And I was originally really surprised they were going to do that because Lost Ark's been anticipated. It had been out in the eastern part of the world for years, over in like Russia and China and Korea, places like that, but it never made it to the West. So it was out for like 3 years already, and there was a lot of hype. And then whenever we found out it was finally coming over to the West, Amazon's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to release it, publish it the same time we're releasing our own MMO." And it was like, "Wait, what?" Which didn't make any sense. And then right before, they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to push back Lost Ark a few months. So it got pushed back till the end of February of last year, where they released New World at like, the end of October of 2021. But you can see Lost Ark's been holding pretty strong. I mean, you can see the difference in player base, though, right? Obviously, like I said, any game that comes out, it tends to be the first like month, from the first month through the first like half a year, especially if it's a good game, the player base will be really high, and then it'll dip a little bit, and you can see that trend here. But I mean, even the last 30 days, the average players is over 150,000. Peak players at 231,000. You can see the significant difference here in a game like Lost Ark than a game like New World that we just took a look at. If you're looking for a game that just numbers don't really lie, dude. So Flat Earth, what's up? What's going on, Erd? How you doing? So, I don't know. Maybe the new content will do good, but just to give you a kind of an idea of the difference between like, the health of a game community wise and how many people it's got currently playing the game and stuff, that'll give you a bit of a look. And look, again, Lost Ark is a free to play game, and it's very well developed, as opposed to something like New World that you got to go pay $40 for, and now they're going to want you to buy the battle pass and stuff like that. Now, Lost Ark has monetization in it, because it's a free to play game. You have to expect that sometimes, but they do a pretty good job of not, you don't have to buy anything to progress. You can do everything free to play. It might be a bit more of a grind, but you can get it done. Well, yeah, I mean, Lost Ark, man, Lost Ark was viral when it came out because, I mean, I can tell you, I was well aware of Lost Ark way before it was even announced that it was going to be coming to the West. Um, it had been out in the eastern part of the world for 3 years before it even hit the West, before it hit Europe and the Americas and everything. And it was notorious for being a very well developed MMO. And not only that, but being free to play is a big deal. Getting people in, being well developed and free to play, and not having like pay to win. So I had been following it for a while. Then when I found out it was coming to the West, dude, it was like, well, I hadn't jumped into an MMO really since back in the World of Warcraft days. I just hadn't found one that really piqued my interest enough until Lost Ark. I played a good amount of it. I played all the way through like May. It was like our weekend title. We played about 2 weeks straight of it, streamed it in February when it released, into February through the beginning of March. And then we just played weekends of it all the way through May of last year. I had a great time with it. It was really good. Yeah, that didn't start until after I left. Yeah. I know they've done like Geralt. They've done some collaborations and stuff, and which is really cool. Yeah, but I think that the game was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it very much. I think they've done a fantastic job with it, and I think that again, numbers don't really lie, man. They're holding pretty strong, And you look at like what the average player base is right now for a game like New World. It was at like what, just over 20,000, I think. You know, well, not every game's for everybody, right? I mean, we know that. What's up, Ferret? Not every game's for everybody. We understand that for sure. Um, I can also tell you that by watching the trailer of Hi-Fi Rush, I didn't think I would like that game either, and right now it's my game of the year. So maybe giving it a try would change your mind. I don't know. I'm just saying. Um, but we all have our preferences. We're all, everything's going to be respective to who we are personally and the things that we enjoy and don't enjoy about games, certain genres and stuff like that. So I respect the fact that there are going to be people that maybe don't gravitate towards this game. But again, Numbers don't lie, dude. You know. Oh, for real? Right on, Erd. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna be playing Divinity 1 this year, man. Yeah. So the while obviously not every game's gonna be perfect for everybody, there's something to be said for a player base, man. And they're holding pretty strong here. You know, when you go look at New World, that was the big thing we're talking about here. New World, they've had a lot of issues, and the player base has dwindled significantly, you know. And now they're trying to get people to pay even more money than just buying the game to play it in the first place. It's like, man, I don't understand your play here. You know, trying to get people in to play the game. You want them to pay more money to play the game, even though your player base is already kind of shot. I don't know. Seems like a bad play to me, Amazon. But what do I know? Yeah, what do I know? Oh yeah, the economy got wrecked. Yeah, I noted that. Yeah, the economy got wrecked in New World. That was one of the biggest things. Anytime you've got a game that's built on a premise of a huge, massive multiplayer environment, and there's an economy involved, you have to be very, very careful about balancing that economy. And if it gets exploited at all, and it's not nipped in the bud real quick, um, it's gonna wreck that game. And it did. It hurt New World very, very, very badly. Yep. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe Review. It still sucks. That's funny, dude. Nintendo's latest remaster brings back a 12-year-old Wii game, but how does it compare to last year's Kirby and the Forgotten Land? As speculation continues, did you play it, Ferret? Did you play New World? As speculation continues as to when Nintendo. So you watched a friend play both New World and Lost Ark, huh? I don't. I watched some other streamers play some New World stuff, um, a little bit to see what it was like, but I was anticipating Lost Ark. I wasn't trying to dive into an MMO at that point. I was waiting on Lost Ark. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Lost Ark was a lot of fun. Lost Ark was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, you're good, buddy. Yeah. Um, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah. Um, if you dig MMOs, I would say Lost Ark is definitely worth a try, especially being free to play. Again, I haven't, I hadn't taken a real dive into an MMO since back in the World of Warcraft days. I played World of Warcraft through the first two expansions, and then I never really took another dive into MMOs. I didn't have the time really either. But I never really found another MMO that really, really piqued my interest enough until I came across um, Lost Ark, whenever it was still only a release over in the eastern part of the world, and I was like, dude, this game looks sick. Yeah, right on. And I enjoyed it very much. I had a great time. I had a great time playing the game. Yep. Um, As speculation continues as to when Nintendo might announce its new console, one of the prevailing theories is that they'll unveil it next year and will coast their way to its release with a range of remasters, smaller titles, and DLC for existing games. There's little evidence for that, or indeed anything else, but if Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is a sign of things to come, we can only hope the announcement comes as soon as possible. The recent re-release of Metroid Prime was magnificent, but Nintendo is relatively limited in what it can remaster since only games from GameCube, Wii, and Wii U can be repurposed with relatively little effort. Something like Ocarina of Time would need a full remake. So while less universally loved, the likes of The Wind Waker and The Twilight Princess can be given a quick polish, Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm a mess this morning, man. And released largely as is, especially as they were already remastered for the Wii U. As much as it seems like scraping the barrel, the advantage of for Kirby's Dream Return to Dreamland is that the graphics are very cartoonish, and so it's less obvious that they're actually quite low tech. It works too, as visually there's nothing wrong with this remaster other than a rather bland art style. In terms of gameplay, though, it's clear evidence for why last year's Kirby and the Forgotten Land was such a necessary change in direction for the franchise. Um, Storytelling is almost non-existent in the Kirby games. Never been made clear what exactly Kirby is. He's grossly overpowered compared to all the enemies he fights. Apart from being able to float indefinitely, his most famous ability is that he can inhale other creatures, steal their powers, and spit them out as projectiles. Um, so there's a hard mode, which calibrates to normal by usual standards, but frustratingly, it's only available when you beat the game. I hate that so flippin' much. I wish developers would just stop, dude. Just stop it. If you want to incorporate some kind of hardcore mode where it's like a significant handicap about only being able to have so many save points or so many lives or whatever, cool. But an actual just overall increase in difficulty for the game, just make that part of the game by default at the start. Please, dude. That's so stupid. The remaster is more interested in making things even easier, with the option to turn off death by falling and gain double stamina. Gross. Even the platforming is so easy it barely counts as an obstacle, and that's before you get into the main gimmick of Return to Dreamland. In that, you're meant to play it with up to 4 people in local co-op. At that point, you really begin to pity the poor enemies, even if having 3 or other people running around is more of a distracting hindrance than actively helpful. Kirby games have always been aimed primarily at young children, but it's not as if Mario and Yoshi are Elden Ring by comparison. What really frustrates, though, is the mix of highly imaginative weapons, for which there is no use, and the pitiful and unimaginative level design, which cycles through all the grassy desert, snow, volcano cliches possible without a hint of self awareness. I'll comment on that, Ferret. Not only are the levels uninteresting in terms of design and theme, but they're also terribly paced, switching between horizontal and vertical sections or brief mini games. Like a bored child flicking through TV channels, there's absolutely no flow to anything, with stages stopping and starting at random, which is one problem the Forgotten Land never fixed. If you played that game and liked it, when we'd caution jumping in with this, as while the core gameplay is still similar, even with the change in perspective, it's all presented in such a banal and unengaging manner. The most dangerous enemy here is boredom, not boss characters. Despite all this, is a very good remaster that's been made with a great deal of care and adds a range of new extras, including new sand and mecha abilities, new sub-games, and a lengthy new epilogue where you play as Kirby's ally, Magolor, as he slowly regains his powers. This is by far the most interesting part of the game, where we actually died quite a few times, but again, it can't be accessed until after the main campaign. Magolor's epilogue adds a sense of danger and uncertainty that is completely missing from the main campaign, and what we can only assume is a knowing response to existing criticisms of the franchise. Presumably, the Forgotten Land will end up as the new template for future Kirby games, but there is one useful thing to come from this remaster. It's the proof that forging ahead with new ideas is much better than dwelling on the past. Look, there's something to be said for there are certain titles that absolutely deserve to be remastered and brought to new consoles. But is this a concept that is getting a bit tired and played out because certain developers are just going, do that one, 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 do that one? Yes, absolutely. There are iconic titles that deserve it for sure. There are also a lot of titles that have been done that didn't necessarily need it, didn't necessarily deserve it. You know what I mean? So, I'll play this fair. Here's what I gotta say, dude. Kind of building off of when I respect your opinion on that. But it seems kind of ridiculous for me as that to be an incorporation, as like what developers look at as a thing that should be enticing for replayability. Like, okay, you beat the game on normal mode. Oh, check it out. Now play it again on hard. A lot of people just want to play the game naturally the first time on the hardest difficulty that the game has to offer. You know, and I can attest to the fact myself that usually if I play a game, uh, I'm ready to move on to something else. Unless it's a game that offers a lot of like continual content or whatever, and there's not necessarily an quote unquote into it or whatever. Holy crap, dude!
The Unreal Galaxy is raiding with 5 viewers.
For me, man. That's an early raid. Yo, Galaxy. Thanks, man. Yo, welcome in, guys. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Come hang out, dude. We're doing the news. We're doing video gaming news. So, thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. How you doing, Galaxy? You just did a 12er, dude? Yo, let me shout you out, Doug. Finna crash, I bet, dude. Yeah. I did about a 10.5 the other day, man. I've been like doing longer streams after I've kind of gotten over being sick, and I've been like I worked on stuff until about 10 o'clock last night too. I didn't get in bed until about 10:30, and then I'm up at 5 again, you know? Like I don't know. I'm grinding real hard right now. Oh, right on, dude. Right on. Here, I got you, Doug. Yeah, sick, dude. Yeah, good for you, man. There you go, guys. Go check out Galaxy. Yep. And throw a follow, man. Show some of that love. Thanks for the raid, buddy. I appreciate it. Go get some rest, dude. Go get some rest. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm OA, if you're not familiar. Everybody from Galaxy's raid, Galaxy's channel. We do a video gaming news segment here every single day. I stream 7 days a week. Today's a bit of an off day. I'm not doing gaming content today. I've got some life stuff I need to take care of, so I'm just doing I got some quirky tech stuff I need to work out, so I'm gonna take today to work on that. Just get some life stuff taken care of, man. But normally, man, I start at 6 a.m. We do news every single day, and then we game until, you know, I don't know, about 2 to 3 p.m. CST, you know, so we go hard. Yeah. All right. It's all good, man. But I just figured if anybody was hanging out, they would see it. It's cool. I appreciate it, buddy. Very, very nice of you, man. Get some rest, dude. GG's on the 12er. Space Mac. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. So, yeah, what we were talking about, Ferret. Oh, yo, Ferret, yeah. Okay, all right, dude. Take it easy, dude. Yeah, take it easy, Galaxy. Thanks, buddy. I guess just to finish kind of what I was saying is like, whenever I play games, I almost always play games on the hardest difficulty, right? So to see games that have an increased difficulty level, aside from like a hardcore mode, be locked behind beating the game, just doesn't feel very good to me. I don't necessarily like that very much. I've actually had to go into like configuration files for games like Dead Space and alter the configuration files. We just played all the original Dead Space games back in October during our Scaretober streams, and I had to alter like Dead Space 1's configuration file to make the game think that I'd already played the game once prior, so I could get the hardest difficulty level to play through. It's just kind of gross. I wish devs would quit doing it. I understand like a hardcore difficulty being unlocked after beating the game on any other difficulty level. That's cool. I dig that. That's fine. Whatever. A hardcore level where you're like, you know, severely handicapped by like no save points or you know, limited save points or checkpoints or, you know, limited lives or whatever. Cool, man. Cool. I get it. Right? But just an overall natural increased difficulty level for like more enemies or harder enemies, more you take more damage. So, dude, don't lock that behind beating the game, please. It's not fun for people that like playing games on harder difficulty levels. I don't want to have to go back and play the game again to experience a harder a more challenging playthrough, you know? Because I'm not going to do that probably. Here, we'll watch this real quick. Return to Dreamland. If you didn't know, it's coming February 24th. Tomorrow.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is coming to Nintendo Switch. One day, a spaceship crash lands on planet Popstar. To help Magalore return to his home planet, Kirby and his friends set off on an adventure. In addition to sword, whip, and other familiar copy abilities, the new Mecha Copy ability makes its debut. Blast foes from a distance, or punch them up
Love
close.
Kirby games, dude.
It's packed with other powerful
This is the first
moves as
game
well.
I ever played on.
The game
ever
supports
beat
local
on-
play
on,
for up to
Game
4
Boy.
players on the same
Had and
console.
beat. I've
Plus,
still got it right
everyone
here.
can play as Kirby while using their favorite copy abilities.
Kirby's Dreamland, baby.
There's also a collection of sub-games to play. This includes the new sub-game Magalore's Tome Trackers, and returning ones like Samurai Kirby. All sub-games can be played with up to 4 players. An adventure of deluxe proportions awaits. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe launches on Nintendo Switch February 24th, 2023.
I was pretty,
Pre-orders
I was
begin
pretty bummed
today
out,
on
man.
Nintendo eShop.
We ended up buying what's the Kirby game that just came out with the all the eating all the sweets and everything, dude. God, I can't even think of the name of it right now. There's only 2-player local co-op on that, or 2-player local. It was really gross. Like you end up playing against like all kinds of enemies, like controlled players, AI controlled players, but you can only have one other player as local multiplayer. It was really gross. So apparently online multiplayer you can have like up to 4, but local multiplayer was only 2, and it felt really bad. Not being able to have more than that. I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. Tekken World Tour 2023 returns with all in-person events starting March 31st. Tekken World Tour 2023 will return the event for this year with in-person events starting next month. Fans of the Tekken video game franchise will be able to participate in various events, including various tournaments that will allow any player to enter. Latest tournaments will be hosted around the world for the latest installment of the fighter game series, Tekken 7. But we know Tekken 8 will be out probably at the end of this year, beginning of 2024. The event starting at EVO Japan will allow players to compete using a leaderboard point system, which will end with the global finals. Tekken World Tour series is a global event that brings fans of the Tekken video game series together for competitions each year. From Bandai, along with production partner Reset Gaming, the event brings an international offline tournament series where the best fighters can compete to be crowned the King of the Iron Fist. This event was previously held last year, which saw Ash's Atif Butt claim the title for the 2022 event. Nice. Late March for the Tekken World Tour. It doesn't have a definitive date yet, a definite date. Tekken World Tour will happen then. And then LCQ and the finals will be TBA after that. One second. Sorry, guys. So Bandai announced that at the Tekken World Tour Global Finals that next year's tournament, Tekken Tour 2023, is coming this March as an entirely in-person competitive event. The tournament will feature a global leaderboard, which will result tallied with results, tallied from region free and in-person Master Plus, Master Challenger, and Dojo events held throughout the world. Top players from each event type will be awarded with points, with the highest point earners on the global leaderboard eventually advancing to the global finals to fight for the Tekken World Tour 2023 Championship. Let's check their trailer here. We've been actually seeing a lot of stuff come out right now about Tekken 8. Character trailers and stuff like that.
He got it! He might win! It's not enough!
I love Jack. King Bad Boy though. I haven't played Tekken.
Another low! Able to go for the razor! Dusty goes wild! It's gonna qualify for the Tekken World Tour Final! Unbelievable!
Get ready for the next battle.
There you go. Looks like this year's initial Master Plus, Master Challenger, and Dojo in-person competitions began at EVO on 31st of March. EVO Japan on 31st of March. Followed up with Mix-Up in Lyon, France on 22 April. For more information, there's a link here for TekkenWorldTour.com. They got a bunch of stuff in here about the events, okay? Here you go, guys. Right there in chat. RE4 Remake release date, how to pre-order, and everything you need to know. One of the biggest titles in gaming is set getting a new good night, dude. Excuse me. A new release, and it's finally just weeks away. Resident Evil 4, the fourth installment of the iconic survival horror franchise, has been remade for the new generation of consoles. Originally released in 2005, the franchise shifted more to dynamic shooting action and influenced the evolution of the survival, horror, and third-person genres with its over-the-shoulder camera perspective. Now the iconic title is being remade following the success of both the RE2 and 3 remakes in 2019 and 2020, respectively. RE4 Remake largely follows the story of the original, though some changes have been made, which will keep aspects of the game feeling fresh. Announcing the game via a PlayStation blog last year, Capcom said the remake would preserve the essence of the original and feel familiar to fans of the series. This is being done by reimagining the storyline while keeping the essence of its direction, modernizing the graphics and updating the controls to a modern standard. Here's the second trailer that's been released for the game. We've seen this one before, but it's cool. Watch it.
You're here looking for someone? Maybe some missing señorita?
Ashley, where are you?
Your soul requires cleansing.
Ashley Graham, are you in here?
Just let me go.
Listen. I'm hearing the president's orders and...
What is that? What do we do?
The lost lambs are escaping.
We need to go.
Yeah, space pack.
I'm gonna get you home safe.
You can stop right there.
Ada, who are you? What are you doing here?
The RE series is one that I've never really
My
dove
favorite
into,
show.
but as these remakes are being
Ashley,
made, like,
run!
it makes me want to go like start
The entire world shall overflow with his grace.
What's
I'll talk
happening
about
to
it
me?
Now, abandon your body.
Leave the girl. She's lost no matter what.
Now that he has chosen death.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
They've been doing a good job on these remakes. They have. I mean, I haven't played them, but just the reviews and reception and everything that I've been keeping up with seems like they're doing a pretty solid job on these.
PlayStation.
What's funny is that I play all types of genre of games, but I never really got into the horror genre of video games. Weirdly enough, because I love horror movies. But whenever I was younger, I watched some older relatives of mine play some like old school horror titles, like old Resident Evil games and Silent Hill stuff, and it freaked me out. And I think just like subconsciously, I kind of stayed away from horror games ever since. It wasn't necessarily on purpose or anything; it just kind of happened. 2021, I started streaming in May of 2021, and as we approached October, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do Scaretober, and I'm gonna start playing horror games. And so Scaretober 2021, so the entire month of October, we made Scaretober, and all I did was play horror games. We did like Alien Isolation, we played Soma, we did The Evil Within 1 and 2. Oh man, what else did we play? We played some old school games too, like Fear 1 and 2. And we had a great time. And then we did it again this past year. This past October, we did it again. And some was fantastic. Some was fantastic. I mean, it's iconic, you know, for being a great horror game. Yeah, it was really good. It holds up too. It's got some age under it at this point, but it holds up pretty well. This year we played every single Dead Space game, the originals, because obviously the remake wasn't out yet. We played Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Little Nightmares 2 was terrible, by the way. We played Outlast 1 and 2 and Outlast's Whistleblower DLC, which was also fantastic. So I've really been taking a dive into the horror stuff, man. I really enjoy it. It wasn't ever a thing for me of like consciously being like, oh, I just can't play horror games. We just played The Forest. I had a lot of people while we played The Forest, me and one of my longtime community members and mods here in the channel. My name is Pinky. We played The Forest together recently, and a lot of people were like, I don't know how you can play this. It's so scary. I was like, dude, this game's not scary. But The Forest was a lot of fun. It was really good. So I don't know, man. The horror stuff's great, but I've just never taken a dive into the RE stuff really. And now that they're getting all these remakes done, I might have to take time at some point to just do a whole bunch of like, you know, maybe, you know, going and playing. I don't know. What I kind of want to do is go back and play like original RE1, and then, you know, I want to play the originals and then play the remakes. You know, I love old school games, and I want to be able to appreciate what the originals were like in contrast to appreciating what the remakes have done as well, you know? So, I don't know. That potential for us is always there. But I have heard really great things also about like Biohazard and The Village, and I really want to take a dive into the RE franchise at some point in the near future. We just got to figure out if we can work it into the schedule at some point. It's a lot of game to play. The third-person perspective, now largely the norm for platform games, returns to the remake while updated graphics for the newer generation of consoles enhance the original game's feeling and increase its haunting tension. In terms of combat, the remake features the all-new knife parry, allowing players to block enemies and finish them off with the knife. Crafting ammo is also a feature of the remake, alongside the ability to craft health items using herbs. The iconic merchant is set for a comeback, and he will now provide Leon with several side missions throughout the game. PlayStation VR 2 add-on for the game is also in development, with Capcom confirming it will be available as a free download. So if all that sounds like your thing, here's how to get your hands on the RE4 remake. Supposed to be launching currently on March 24th, which is quickly approaching. We're talking a month. Is it gold at this point? Has it gone gold? I would assume if it hasn't, it's going to be very close to going gold at this point. Most of the time, if a game is within a month, oh yikers, dude. Hey, how fun is that? Remix. If a game is within, if you guys want any more info out of that article, there you go. Usually, if a game is within a month of its release date, it's very close to going gold, which means it's going to take something fairly catastrophic to delay it. It's basically like getting, printed out, boxed up, and shipped out and stuff. It's being prepped for that process. So it takes something pretty substantial to delay that kind of thing at that point. But I don't think I've seen anything specific from Capcom saying that this remake, RE4 remake, is actually gone gold yet. We'll keep an eye out. Ukraine. Let's talk about this, okay? Ukraine, we've already touched on this a bit in previous news segments. Ukraine calls for Atomic Heart to be banned across all platforms. A representative from Ukraine has formally requested that entities selling the new video game Atomic Heart across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC platforms now ban the title outright. In the lead up to the release of Atomic Heart, Studio Mundfish had already been under a bit of fire for its alleged ties to Russia. And while Mundfish itself isn't located within Russia currently, Ukraine is still requesting that various companies cut ties with the studio's new game, completely due to the nation's ongoing conflict with Russia. In a statement from dev.ua, Ukraine's Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation, Alexander Bornyakov, made it known that the country wants the various platform holders that are selling and distributing Atomic Heart to now prevent the game from being sold. Bornyakov stated that the money raised from the game could end up benefiting Russia and, in turn, would help the country as it continues its invasion of Ukraine. It was also claimed that Atomic Heart could collect user data through this assertion, although this assertion, has previously been pushed back on by those at Mundfish. We call for limiting the distribution of this game. This is a quote. In other countries, due to its toxicity, potential collection of user data, and the possibility of transferring its third parties in Russia, as well as the potential use of money raised from the game purchases to wage war against Ukraine, Bornyakov said of Atomic Heart. Therefore, we urge all users to ignore this game. We would also like to emphasize for the Western audience that the developers of the game did not come out with a public statement condemning the Putin regime and the bloody war that Russia has unleashed against Ukraine. As mentioned, Mundfish does have its origins in Russia. This is what I want to talk about. And many members of its development team also stem from the country. However, Mundfish is currently said to reside in Cyprus, which means that the studio has seemingly been distanced by much of what has been happening in Russia and Ukraine over the past year. It's hard to know just how connected the studio might remain to Russia, whether or not the country donated substantial funds to the development of Atomic Heart. But either way, Ukraine clearly doesn't want to see the game be sold any further. If you didn't know, Atomic Heart is doing fairly well. Let's talk about this, okay? Not all of us live in a country that is governed by a regime or a power such as what Russia has going on, right? Not all of us have experienced that, so it's not something easy for everybody to understand necessarily either, okay? I haven't ever, but what I always try to get people to do is to maybe take a look at all situations from all possible angles, right? Whenever we first heard about, shout out to our buddy Fat Pat. Fat Pat brought up this issue right before the game released about how there was talk about how this the proceeds from the game could potentially be benefiting Russia's invasion. And look, ultimately, I have seen nothing that confirms that, right? This game's been in development since like what, 2017, 2018, something like that. So to say that a game that's been in development that long was had a primary goal of funding the war, I find that hard to believe. It doesn't mean it's not potentially happening, but I haven't seen anything that really leads me to believe that's happening either. Now, Mundfish has come out and made a statement that they don't support violence against people and da, 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 da. It was like a very careful way of basically stating they don't necessarily support Russia's invasion of Ukraine without explicitly stating it, right? This is what I need people to understand. Yeah, exactly, Fat Pat. Yo, what's up, Doug? You like that name drop there? You like me shouting you out, dog? I didn't even know you were here, dude. Yo, check out Fat Pat's channel, guys, if you're not familiar. One of our friendos and awesome content creator. Go throw a follow, okay? If you're not already, that is. So this is what I want people to understand. Mundfish, as a developer, obviously has ties to Russia as a country. Many of these individuals that work for the company are probably either are considered Russian citizens or at one point were, and probably have family members that are Russian citizens, right? So what that means is that if they were to be very outspoken against their government's actions, a power like Russia will not hesitate to take measures against people that speak out against them. All to the extent of going after family members and things like that too. So I want people to be understanding of the fact that, you know, they've received a lot of criticism from like people all over the place about, well, they didn't blatantly state that they're not you know, against the war. It's not always that easy, okay? It's not always that easy because it's a bit of a delicate situation, I would assume. Yeah? For a developer in Mundfish that obviously has ties to the country, if they were to be completely outspoken, it could put not just the company, but the workers, the people, the individuals themselves at risk, I think, for personal harm from the government themselves. That's the way this type of government works, right? This type of institution will not hesitate to go after people that are outspoken against the war. We've seen these types of government powers do this kind of thing over and over and over. It's tragic. It's terrible. It sucks. It shouldn't be like that. But they're not about letting people like get away with like free speech and you know, trying to get people to stand up against the actions the government are taking, right? They try to shut that stuff down. So while I have no definitive information one way or another whether the proceeds from this game could potentially be going to benefit the war, I have doubts. I have doubts that this developer was like making money for the government. I don't know. But people have gotten, it seems, real riled up about the fact that they made a very careful quote, a very careful statement about not supporting any kind of human violence and stuff like that, rather than just going, we don't support this war. And you have to understand the position they're being put in for maybe not even just themselves, but their loved ones that could still be citizens residing within Russia. These types of government organizations are scary. So everybody's quick to judge. And I don't think everybody, especially people are quick to judge, especially when they don't, have all the information that they need. And I try to get people to maybe, if it is in fact the case that they're providing monetary support to Russia for the war, that's terrible, because war is bad all the way around. And I absolutely do not support Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It's a terrible thing, but I don't necessarily see any proof that that's the case, and people need to understand the position that this is, put the individuals of this development organization in by prompting them for said kinds of statements and stuff like that. From Russia's government, not just for them, but the potential loved ones they have too that still reside within that country. People need to be a bit more critical about the way they think about things. There's a lot of different, it's not just black and white, man. It's not just black and white. People get too black and white about topics. It's just either this or it's that. That's all there is to it. And most of the time, that is not the actual situation. There's a lot of gray area in between that people need to start considering about topics, man. So, I don't know. And even with, Ukraine, even with Ukraine calling for like a boycott for people to not buy it or whatever, where's your proof, dude? I mean, I'm sorry, but until you provide some kind of definitive proof that the proceeds are for sure going to assist Russia's war efforts, then I don't. Is it? I mean, who's the investor? I didn't see anything about that. And why are they not stating anything about that in their quote then? You know? Oh, okay. Thanks. Yo, Fat Pat. Thanks, buddy. GM Capital is an investment firm with a strong interest in gaming companies led by an individual named Anatoly Pally. So I probably butchered that. So far, the company has invested in Munfish along with Alcat. Dude, Alcat. That's Pathfinder. Yeah. Pathfinder. Weepy. This is the police. Dave's Craft, Grand Hotel Mania, and Unfrozen. Iritus, Lord of the Dead. Okay. Is there more to that? Okay. I mean, all I'm seeing there, though, is like what they invest in gaming wise. I would have to look. Let me see. Wait, what? Thanks, buddy. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yes, because this is a probably a newer. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Why are they not like having everything boycotted then? If it's because of this specific investor, you're absolutely right. Yeah, why is everything not being boycotted from this investor, right? If that's the case, if it's actually due to this investor, I mean, yeah. Yep. Mundfish was recently forced to deny claims it was harvesting data for Russian authorities. That site AIN.capital alleged that Mundfish's Russian store website included a clause to inform users their data may be collected and sent to Russian state authorities, including the tax office and Federal Security Service. AIN alleged the website policy cited Russian mobilization laws under which soldiers are currently being recruited in Russia to continue the criminal war against Ukraine, and claimed Mundfish listed its legal address was still listed as in Moscow. Our game and website do not collect any information or data. A spokesperson for Mundfish told Games Radar by way of a response. The website's privacy statement is outdated and wrong, should have been removed years ago. We have shut down the shop to assure our fans of the integrity of our studio and products. We apologize for any confusion on this matter. Interesting. This was their statement. We want to assure you that Mundfish is a developer and studio with a global team focused on an innovative game and is undeniably a pro-peace organization against violence against people. That was their statement. And again, this is something I'm telling people, to be blatantly outspoken against a regime and a government such as Russia's is really putting yourself in a bad spot. Yeah, I agree, Fat Pat. That was another thing. Is like I think there are a lot of people that are just like, oh, this is we can't have, and that's what I was telling people whenever we talked about this. Was it yesterday that we were talking about this too? And I was like, look, man, games are almost always based on a fictional setting. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people are like freaking out about the fact that this is like a setting where Russia had won the war, and it's like, that's exactly what I just stated a few minutes ago, Fat Pat. That's exactly what I just stated. It's not necessarily just about these people themselves that work there, because I think a lot of them. Oh no, you're good, but no, you're not wrong, and that's exactly. I mean, I'm just saying we're right here with each other, brother. You know what I'm saying? I actually stated that it's not just about these individuals themselves that are part of the company and the development team, but it's about all the people, because they obviously have ties to Russia, right? They probably have a lot of loved ones, family, thing like that that are residing within Russia currently, and they will be targets by the government if they are outspoken, right? That's the way that type of government works. And if they don't do a like, this is a safe statement. This is a statement that is safe, doesn't necessarily have them going, we're against Russia's government and what they're doing against Ukraine, but it does basically give off that impression, right? So it's a more of a safe way to state it that can potentially not result in them having a lot of backlash and not have them have to worry about the government coming after them and their loved ones, And this is that we do not comment on politics or religion. Rest assured, we are a global team focused on getting Atomic Heart into the hands of gamers everywhere. I mean, to me, this is the same stuff I hit on the other day, It seems like they're trying to be safe, in my opinion. GM Capital is an investment firm with a strong interest in gaming companies. The person that leads GM, Pally, previously worked for Russian majority state-owned gas company Gazprom. Further, in Russia, the game is set for release on VK Play due to Steam ceasing business in the country, which is part of Vkontakte, Russia's primary social media platform. It's controlled by Gazprom. It means sales from the game in Russia can be linked back to the state. Oh. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. Yeah, commenters online are calling for more transparency over Mundfish's financial dealings and Russian origins. That makes more sense. This right here, makes more sense as to why people might be up in arms. No, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Really, what should have happened here is Mundfish shouldn't have allowed this to happen. That's the problem. But their hands are probably tied. You know what I mean? It's a bad situation. If they have investment by GEM, then Mundfish might not have a whole lot of say on whether or not they can pull it off of VK Play within Russia or not. I don't know all the ins and outs. There'd be a lot of contract stuff going on there, and dude, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know. That's a bad situation though. But you're right. Like, getting it on Steam or Game Pass or what other platform shouldn't be a big deal, other than the fact that any of the money they make is going to end up, you know, being pushed into the investment company as well, which obviously has ties into its state of Russia, right? So, right. So yeah, there's some wonky stuff going on here. I ultimately, dude, I think that Mundfish, I think the developer Mundfish, they probably have found themselves in a pretty bad spot here. That's what I would guess. They're probably like, man, this sucks. You know, that's what I would assume. Yeah, look again. I mean, dude, this game has been in development since like 2018. So it's not like they agreed to a lot of what was the investment company, and so they're like, cool, dude, we're gonna have some capital to really push into this game, make it the best we can. Da 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 da. Yeah, and you know, 5 years later on the release, it's this situation that has become a bad a bad situation for them because of the invasion. So I don't think it's necessarily Mundfish themselves that's like got some kind of dedicated aim towards providing monetary means towards the Russian state and the supporting the invasion or anything. It's just it's a bad situation. Maybe that doesn't make it okay, but I would like to see some more transparency for sure. Yo, great article, dude. Thank you. Again, I mean, as far as like their statements and stuff, I think everybody has to understand where they're coming from, though, with being as safe as possible under that entity that controls Russia, and what the repercussions could be for them being outspoken. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird stuff in this situation. A lot of quirky, kind of odd things here. That's a good article, dude. If you guys want to read more here, so that sheds a little bit more light on what this situation entails. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll move on here. Atari announces the launch of a fully rebuilt and optimized Moby Games website. One of the world's most iconic consumer brands and active entertainment producers announced today the launch of a new and improved Moby Games website built from the ground up. The launch of the improved website comes less than 1 year following Atari's acquisition of Moby Games, which came with the commitment to invest in improving the platform. The support from Atari enabled the Moby Games team to accelerate the development of the new site, which adds updated functionality for ease of use and an optimized approval workflow. The new desktop and mobile user interface make it easier to explore and contribute to the database. In addition to more robust game data, users with a Moby Games account can rate, review, and manage their game collection. I know the team at Moby Games is very excited about the new platform, and I want to thank them for the effort and passion they put into this important industry resource. Said Atari CEO Wade Rosen, Moby Games will continue to grow and expand, but this release is a major step forward. Atari and the team behind Moby Games are pleased to share that all game and account information, contributions, game collections, reviews, images, and more have been successfully migrated to the new website. These include over 323,000 games across 311 platforms, over 5,500,000 credits, over 1 million industry professionals, over 45,000 companies, over or almost 750,000 images of cover art and packaging, almost 1 million screenshots taken by players, and close to 900,000 images of promotional art. A press kit including logos, videos, GIFs, and box art are available at this link. Let's see this. Check that out. That's pretty wild, dude. Most researched games past week: World of Warcraft, Pac-Man, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Dig Dug. Looks like internet from 2000. Not quite, dude. You should go look at the the post I put in Discord from last night, dude. Here, I got you. There you go. Take a look at that, dude. You want some you want some good like old school websites, man? Take a look at that link. Oh, that's why you said it, yeah. AOL emails. Like, did you see like the old Justin Timberlake website and stuff? And the search engines. Oh my god, dude. But it does look super dated, yeah. MySpace, dude. I loved MySpace. Yo, MySpace, way better than Facebook, bro. I know that you won't agree. MySpace blow Facebook out of the water any day of the week. That MySpace was so dope, dude. LimeWire, bro. Oh man. Yeah. That's where Metallica started throwing a fit, you know, back in those days. Heck yeah. But bro, that was some sketchy stuff too. With the incorporation of like LimeWire and all the like the music pirating and stuff, there was so many like so much malware and viruses and stuff being thrown out everywhere. It was gross. Gave your PC VD? Yeah, dude, exactly. Yeah, Fat Pat. It was disgusting, dude. Yeah, it was really, really, really sketchy, dude. Uh-huh. That's pretty cool. If you guys want this site, check it out. Yo, I'll say this though. There's a reason why there's an acronym. If you haven't heard it, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. There's no need in making things more elaborate or harder than they need to be. Sometimes simple's okay, dude. Sometimes something like this is absolutely fine. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't need to be too flashy. This is fine, dude. This is okay. Check this out, dude. I like it. It works, man. It works. I think it's fine, dude. It looks fine to me. I'm cool with it. Exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Mithril. What's up, buddy? Okay, here we go, dude. Elden Ring sells 20 million copies, makes excellent point. Not everything has to squeeze us for all we're worth. Agreed. Dude, I talk about this all the time. I've already talked about it this morning with New World. If you guys weren't here yet, New World, the MMO by Amazon, which still costs, I think, $40 to get into for the standard edition. And then they've got 2 other enhanced editions you can buy into. They are now incorporating seasons. So they're having battle passes. And they've got microtransaction shops. They got all this other stuff going on. And dude, they're only pumping like a little over 20,000 players consistently right now. So there's something to be said for I talk about this a lot. If you got a free to play game like maybe Lost Ark, I expect there to be like maybe some battle pass, cosmetic shop stuff, something like that to generate some revenue. Yeah. But there's good and bad ways to do it. Pay to win, not acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Fat Pat. The game's dying. Yeah, pump them for all they're worth. Exactly, dude. That's exactly that's exactly what's happening with New World right now. It's the game is just drowning, dude. Yeah. I mean, there's a good look, we've seen on free to play games, we've seen good ways to go about games making their money. I'll give you some good examples would be like Grinding Gear games with Path of Exile. They've done a fantastic job over the years. And then you've got something like Lost Ark as well. And then you've got a lot of other free-to-play games that have done a pretty bad job with like pay to win. Pay to win's not acceptable, dude. That's gross. Yeah, like Diablo Immortal, stuff like that. Bleh, gross, dude. Get wrecked. But there are a lot of games also that, like I was just talking about with New World, they want you to buy the game up front. Then they want you to buy a battle pass. Then they want you to do like, in-game transactions as well. Then they want you to buy DLC also. It's like, where does it stop, dude? And so there are some examples. They're few and far between anymore, but there are some examples out there of games that don't do that still. But it's becoming very rare. Talk about a game like No Man's Sky. That game should never have released in the state that it was in on release. Don't get me wrong. But you go buy that game, goes on sale all the time too. And all you ever do is buy the base game. And you get so much content. Any content they ever release for that game is just free. All you have to do is buy the base game. And usually it goes on sale for like $20 to $30, something like that. And it's got a ton of content nowadays. And it's a very, very, very good game from what I understand. I haven't played it, but it is a stark contrast from what it was on release. Should have never been released like that. But, you know, there's something to be said for these titles that don't just try to squeeze you for all you're worth anymore. It was announced earlier today that Elden Ring, From Software's 2022 Game of the Year for loads of people, not me, has sold 20 million copies worldwide since its release a year ago. That is a lot. You may be wondering, why am I pointing this out on Kotaku, a website that is in 2023 generally couldn't give a crap about sell boast figures, especially when they come packaged in a press release from the publisher. It's because I think Elden Ring, a tough as nails action RPG that's basically a single player experience, is making a great point going out and selling 20 million copies in 2022 to 2023. It's showing publishers and the people who control their purse strings, not every video game released in the modern age has to be a forever game. A life service time sink that not only demands our constant attention, but is constantly asking for money while it's doing it. You buy Elden Ring, you play Elden Ring, you rent Elden Ring, and then you're done with it. Unless you're not done with it and you want to keep playing it, right? There are no DLC packs, no season passes, no multiplayer modes, selling skins for $2. What you paid for is what you got. Many people raised on less exploitative games or tired of modern gaming demands, or both. Elden Ring was conceptually a near perfect video game experience. Conceptually. It felt like crap on PC From Software. I know it's far from alone. It's not like every game ever released these days is a live service drain. Indeed, that Game of the Year list I linked to above is dominated by standalone single-player experiences. None of them have sold 20 million copies, though. That's what makes Elden Ring sell so important. They don't just show a traditional video game can do well, they show it can be an absolute blockbuster. While nailing down specific sales figures in these days, a digital shop front can be hard. 20 million puts the game in the same ballpark as Modern Warfare 2 and EA's FIFA series. Blech. EA, dude. Jesus. An extraordinary achievement for a game that's hard, very hard, and enjoyed a fraction of the promotional budget, those juggernauts. Both full-price retail games, which then try and fleece players for even more money down the road, received. Yeah. Know what else is in that sales ballpark? Cyberpunk 2077, which, okay, had its problems, and also an astronomical marketing budget, sold over 20 million copies. God of War Ragnarok, another very single-player experience released in 2022, has sold over 10 million copies itself. To Sony's credit, much of their first-party strategy from Horizon to The Last of Us walks a similar path. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, first single-player Star Wars game in a very long time. Oh, hey, it also sold over 10 million, doing more than well enough to justify a big budget sequel that's out very soon. Random vote time. Let's go, guys. Get them in there. Oh, dude, Kappa Ross. These huge sales figures aren't just success stories for the companies involved, but also a sign to other publishers that maybe the people buying and playing games are getting tired of this obsession with fleecing us at every turn and of stripping the heart out of games in a desperate attempt to prolong our time spent with them. I get that companies know a live service game can potentially make more money than a regular one. Look at FIFA, which has made billions off digital card sales on top of its retail profits, but it's not guaranteed. Not every game has to do this. We don't have the time or money for it. Some people just want to play a video game, finish it, enjoy it for what it was, then get on with their lives of playing other games. Nice, Ferret. And those people are showing there are enough of them out there to not just buy a few million copies of those games, but turn them into absolute blockbusters. Look, Elden Ring had great content. It had its issues, though, as far as I'm concerned, especially performance-wise on PC. Nice, Mithril. Dude, I love that emote. Ha ha! But they're right. It's becoming more and more rare for a game to come out and just give you the experience for what you paid for, and not just keep trying to suck money out of you all the time, you know? We talk about it a lot, so that was a good article. For something that we harp on for the industry on the constant in our news segments, to have somebody actually write something up talking about the same thing is refreshing. What happened to the GTA 6 leaker? This was like a 17-year-old out of London, if I remember correctly. Infamous Grand Theft Auto 6 leak was a colossal tragedy for Rockstar. Landed the teen leaker in mountains of legal trouble. One of the most anticipated games. Yeah, GTA 6. Blah, 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 blah. Leaker was found. They are now facing possible legal consequences. Causing a global uproar was probably exciting for the leaker, but the prospect of dealing with the legal might of an enraged multi-billion-dollar company is a lot less fun, no doubt. Take-Two, which is Rockstar's parent company, has admitted that GTA 6 leak was an emotional experience for the developers. Though much of the gaming world has moved on from the leak, the leaker will likely be dealing with consequences for a while. Gamers had received tidbits of information from video gaming journalist Jason Schreier, and while none of it was official, Schreier's track record has been trustworthy. The leaker took things a step further and leaked 90 videos of GTA 6, much of which confirmed Schreier's claims. The massive leak took the gaming world by surprise, and there were several theories regarding its source. It was eventually discovered the leaker was a 17-year-old who goes under the alias Teapot Uber Hacker, and is part of the hacking group Lapsus. The GTA 6 hack triggered an FBI investigation, and the group was also behind a major Uber hack. The hacks revolved around the communication app Slack, which the group used to gain sensitive information. Currently, it appears that the group was motivated solely by financial gain, and the leaker attempted to negotiate a deal with Rockstar Games. 17-year-old who was one of the leaders resided in Oxfordshire in the UK, and they were arrested by the City of London police. The leaker pleaded not guilty to computer misuse. On September 24th, he was back in court where he pleaded guilty to breaching his bail conditions, resulting in him being placed in a youth detention center. His current incarceration status is unknown. Wow. Interesting. There's more information here that talks about everything that was leaked if you're interested. We already know a lot about it. We've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to dive into that, but it's there for you if you want it. Square Enix has finally fixed a broken RPG after nearly a year, which means they've only got 40 other games they still need to fix. These days, it's not unusual for a video game to receive performance updates a few weeks or even months after launch. However, after almost a year, most gamers give up on any hope for a fix. This week, Square Enix surprised fans when the company announced that it would be fixing issues in Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition. When the PS1 remaster launched, all the what? Dude, I'm telling you, comicbook.com, almost every single article has a misspell in it. It's like a game to find it. It's become like a game for me now. When the PS1 remaster launched all the what back in April 2022, many fans were disappointed to find it filled with bugs and frame rate issues. Today, the company finally released an update, and it should help the game run much better than before. Full patch notes from the game's Steam page can be found below. Frame rate improvements, changes to the growth system for Pip, and other minor bug fixes. Take it easy there, guys, for this update, okay? Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, is available on Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC via Steam. While these patch notes specifically come from the Steam page, the update should be live across all versions of the game. Many fans were disappointed when it launched last year, and it's a safe bet that many others held off on buying the remaster as a result. Square's getting pretty bad, guys. I'm telling you. This company, one of my favorites I grew up with, man, but they're just, I see more and more things about them not caring about quality of their games they're pushing out, downward trends for that kind of thing, just really turned into one of those corporate greed monsters that just that's all they see, man, is money. They're just leaning on their titles that they have, their IPs they have, in the name of Square rather than, this is one of the things, I was providing feedback last night. I provided lengthy feedback. Hopefully it was good. Because I really enjoyed the past 5 days of playing Once Human, and I tried my best to really show the developers where I felt like they needed to improve, but I really praised them as well, because I didn't want to quit playing the game. I had so much fun in the game right now that even with the issues, I really wanted to keep playing it. That says something. And what I'll tell you is that there are a lot of details in that game that whenever I was writing the review, I came to the conclusion while I was writing it and stated this to them that it felt like their game, Once Human, was actually being developed by other gamers. And it's refreshing when you play a game that feels like that. When you play a game that feels like it's being developed by other gamers, it's like they get it. It's like they understand what you need, what you want in a game. As opposed to a lot of these AAA studios anymore where it's just, yo, dude, yeah. Okay, yeah, fair, yeah. I'll link it, dog. I'll link it. Anymore, it's like there's just so many quality of life things that are missed or little details that are missed and unoptimized crap and it's like, are the people that are making some of these games even, I mean, are they even gamers? It's like they have no idea what they should be looking to put in the game. It's not like all the content's crap, but they're missing a lot of the details that they should be putting into the games. I talked about a lot of it, like while I was playing Hogwarts, Yeah, Fat Pat, quite often, dude. Quite often. But I'll tell you what, man. Just playing that beta over the past 5 days, I was really blown away by some of the really great detail that they're putting into the game. Quality of life stuff and everything. I was like, dude, this feels like a game that's being made by gamers. And there's something to be said for that, dude. All too often, I feel like I'm playing games that are just made by non-gamers. And it quite often just feels gross, And where I feel like a lot of these big developers have turned into too. It's like, not that they don't have developers within that are gamers and probably have great ideas, but they're just unheard probably. And most of the company has turned into these to having blinders on to anything besides making content that is what they see as being good enough, leaning on the titles that they've had for so long that people are fans of, leaning on the name of their company, and just being blinded by greed. I have no doubt that they've got some fantastic developers within some of these major companies that have some amazing ideas that just totally get overlooked, and it's terrible. But it was really refreshing, dude, to write that feedback last night and just to think about some of the things that they're doing really well. Even though, dude, I stated a ton of stuff that they need to work on fixing up. But it's a beta, dude. I mean, that's one of the reasons I played it, to help them find those issues. There's a lot of good stuff about that game, too. Arc Zombie, what's up, buddy? Yo, dude. Hey, guys. We rated Arc Zombie yesterday. Right before Arc Zombie had to bounce. Yo, weird enough, dude. What's up, my friend? Go check out Arc Zombie's channel. Show some of that community love, dude. I had a real weird situation. Like, I was trying to raid you at the end of my stream yesterday, and then it was like telling me that I was raiding you, and it wasn't raiding, and I was like, "What's happening, dude?" I've never had that happen before. So like sitting here for like a few minutes, man. Like, what's happening, dude? It was weird. It's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. Yeah. So it was really refreshing to be able to write that feedback last night for the devs for Once Human, and I mean, the game feels like it's got some rough edges, dude. They've got some stuff they need to work out. They've got some polishing to do, but there's a lot of good detail in that game, and it feels like a game being made by gamers, dude, which is great. It was fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot of broken stuff. The food was terrible. The building system needs work. There's a lot of good stuff about the building system. There's some bad stuff about the building system. dude, after I moved my place, I like, which is a great quality of life thing, like moving your entire base to another location. After I did it, dog, it was like almost everything that I tried to build on afterwards was like, this conflicts. This is in conflict. This is in conflict. This is in conflict. This is in conflict. And it was like, oh my God, dude, what's happening? There's things, and dude, the roofing system was terrible. I had a lot of model issues with, like, whenever I would do backstabs on enemies, the enemy model would be like, it would just be nowhere near where my character was for, like, there's like weird stuff like that. Also, dude, getting free camera on the backstab kills is they need to give you free camera mode so you can look around while you're doing your backstabs and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that they need to kind of work out. But on the flip side of that, there's the building system, if they get it fully fleshed out, and like the rotating on the pieces was real janky. It would like flip back and forth and stuff. If they get the building system fleshed out, Bizen, what's up, buddy? Visuals turning black. Yeah, there was weird stuff going on. But I mean, that's why we play the beta, to help them out, let them know. I'm literally putting all my content. I've got the first 2 days finished already and put into a playlist on the Twitch channel here. I'm gonna get the rest of the days done today, and put up. And I linked it for them in my feedback so they can come take a look. There's a lot of stuff, dude. There's a lot of stuff that they need to polish up. But that's part of them running betas, right? And getting people to give feedback so they can go take a look at stuff, man, is important. And I hope that there are enough people that actually play the beta that are providing quality feedback, you know? So the game deserves it. There's a lot of really good stuff. Dude, the crafting system's really fleshed out. It feels really good. It's so cool how much like modification you can do with like the weapon systems and stuff. Finding new blueprints for new weapons, all the different attachments for the weapons, then like the modification, like perks and stuff that you can put on the weapons too. It's a really cool system, man. And then just all the crafting stuff naturally. There's a lot of different crafting stuff going on, which is really, really neat. And the gathering felt really, dude, I forgot to put that in the feedback too. Being able to use one tool for all your gathering is huge. Not having to have like a different tool for each different like gathering thing in the game is fantastic. All you need is a pickaxe, dude, for a more efficient gathering, you know? Oh, different ammo type, dude. Yeah. Massive, dude, they've done such a good job with quality of life in the game. The one thing that I noticed that they needed to incorporate was like a comparison. A lot of RPGs miss this. But like if you're going into the crafting for new equipment, like to wear, you can't see a comparison of what you're already wearing. I didn't see it anyways. But you want to be able to see that. If you're looking to craft new gear, you want to see a comparison of what you're already wearing, right? Too many RPGs miss that. And they should have at least the ability to have a pop-up and show a comparison, if not just by default. There's a lot of good stuff, dude. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of cool details, man. Even some of the last stuff I did yesterday before I quit playing was I made the motorcycle, and even backing the motorcycle up felt like really backing up a motorcycle. It wasn't like you put your feet up and you go in reverse like in a car or something. It was literally trudgy, dude. It was like you could feel the weight of the motorcycle. You had to like step your way back. You know what I mean? It was cool, dude. They've got a lot of good detail in the game. I'm really impressed. And I'm really excited for the full release of the game. Yeah, it's good. Bizen, what's up, Doug? Yeah, dude, Square sucks, man. I mean, they're fixing Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers after a year. They still haven't fixed the PC port of games like FF7 Remake Intergrade. They just let the community mod fix it and fix it with mods, and then never went back and fixed it themselves. Stuff like that. And it's like, Square has just turned and look, man, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. I've loved Square for a long time, but Square's dying for me. Just like Blizzard died for me. They're not the company they once were, man. They're just not. Does it mean that they're not still going to produce some quality content? No, it doesn't mean that. But they're definitely not that same company that they once were. That they're not that same developer they once were, for sure. I'm good, man. I'm having trouble knocking this cough out, dude. I'm having some I've got to take a day. I'm not gaming today. I can't game today. I had to make a decision to just take the day. I've got a number of things that have been like getting pushed aside that I need to get taken care of. Like, dude, I need to get taxes done. I've got some vehicle maintenance stuff I need to get scheduled up. Not like anything bad, just preventative maintenance. It's just life stuff, dude, that's been getting kind of pushed aside here lately. That's kind of been piling up that I need to go ahead and get off my shoulders, you know. And I've got a little bit of a tech issue that I need to work on trying to get figured out today too. Hopefully I'll be able to sort it, but I'll let you guys know. So yeah, that's kind of what today's turned into. That's why I decided to just not do gaming content. Try to get my slate kind of, you know, get my plate cleared off here of other things, and that way, you know, since we're done with the once human beta, it felt like today was a good spot to go ahead and just take a day to not game and work on clearing my plate. You know, that way tomorrow we can dive back into gaming for the foreseeable future. I won't have anything getting in the way. You know what I mean? So that's the play. Escape from Tarkov servers are set to temporarily go offline. Yeah, I know. I don't like to, though. Yeah, this is real life, Doc. This is my real life, dude. This is what I want to do. This is my jam, man. You know how it is, dude. This is real life. I don't want to take care of fake life stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, there's things that I need to get sorted out, appointments made, things like that. And to get, if I can take time today to get all that stuff done and scheduled and completed, then all I'll really have to do for like most of the rest of the year is work on like potentially having to take a day here or there or half a day here or there just to like hit these appointments up and stuff, and that'll be it. We'll be good to go for the rest of the year. So aside from maybe a little bit of some holiday time off at the end of the year. So I'll just go ahead and do it now. Escape from Tarkov servers set to temporarily go offline. At least 4 hours to upload patch 0.13.0.3. Battlestate Games has confirmed that Escape from Tarkov servers will temporarily go offline later this week. The multiplayer first-person shooter video game will be taken offline for a minimum of 4 hours tomorrow. Classic, what's up, dog? How you doing? How are you, buddy? To allow Battlestate Games times to upload patch 0.13.0.3. The downtime will start at 6 a.m. GMT on February 23rd. Announcing the news, Battlestate wrote tomorrow, February 23rd at 6 a.m. GMT, 1 a.m. Eastern. So that's like, what, noon our time here for the stream. So we're talking about roughly like 3.5 hours from now. We are planning to install patch 0.13.0.3. The installation will take approximately 4 hours, but may be extended if required. The game will not be accessible during this period. Yo, I put a nice clip, by the way, in Discord, in the clip channel last night. You guys should check it out. You'll love it. You'll love it. You know what we're talking about looting all the time? You know what I'm talking about. No patch notes have been shared yet, but players are expecting this update to deal with a couple of issues. Escape from Tarkov developers mentioned earlier in the month. In a Twitter thread, Battlestate Games shared an estimated plan of changes, fixes, and improvements that will be included in the upcoming hotfixes. That include a reworked and improved player group system and a fix for the majority of the causes of invisible players in raids. Well, that would be a nice little buff there, wouldn't it? Just hop into a raid and be invisible? Jeez. Battlestate wants to also revert the mechanics of quest reward skill calculation as it was before patch 0.13.0.0 and, quote, fix the fence reputation calculation for killing Zraiki and his guards. Other planned fixes will tackle issues with various icons, weapon animations, and sound. The last wipe took place in January and introduced Streets of Tarkov, a densely packed new map that pushes players into tackling the shooter in a vastly different manner. The last hotfix also came in January. Capcom has confirmed also, in other news, that RE4 Remake will include a VR gameplay mode that will arrive free via download. But it might not be ready when the game launches next month. The game, we already hit on RE4 earlier today, but RE4, if you didn't know, is like just about a month away from a release. I haven't seen anything about it going gold yet, but we probably will very, very soon. What is this, dude? PS4 reveal signals a new generation. Sony's big hardware unveiling gets positive reviews. Live service games hit a wall, and it's a good month for bad calls. I'm not reading all this. What's the TLDR here on this? Live service games are doomed. Oh, yo, what did Fat Pat say about the Oh, dude, Fat Pat, I totally missed your statement there, dude. I saw that you put something about Rumbleverse, and I forgot to look at it. I was watching Rumbleverse devs talk about the game last night, and they showed a clip of high school talent shows where one of the devs did wrestling on stage, and it's like half the combo moves incorporated in the game. Super neat to see how his life inspired the game. Dude, that's really cool. That's really neat. That's another game that's dead, though. Or almost dead. End of this month, right? It's crazy, dude. Yeah, I mean, live service games are, I don't think they're doomed. It's I mean, look, Knockout City, Apex Legends, but we've talked about all these. Rumbleverse, Crossfire X. All these are dying, right? Does it mean all live service games are doomed? No. Absolutely not. But is it a very, very polluted segment of the video gaming industry? Absolutely. And I mean, you're seeing games basically that have only been out for a year, a little bit more maybe, that they're like, it's not worth anymore. We got to shut it down. It's like, geez, dude. You know, the thing with live service games is like, there are a lot of good ones out there. They just can't maintain a player base because the yikers, dude. The big live service games that take a lot of the player base, coming out with a game that is unique enough and fun enough of an experience to not only pull player base away from games like Fortnite initially, but to also keep that player base. That's the key. To be able to keep that player base away and into your title is very tough. It's very hard. And it takes something really, really special to do that. And unfortunately, man, we see all too often now that the live service games, many of them don't make it. It's just not worth the cost of keeping them live, and they have to shut down. And it's not because people don't like the games. Quite often, they're reviewed pretty well. There's just not enough of a player base. They're not profitable enough to keep the games up, keep maintaining them, you know, keep investing resources in them. So a lot of them are doomed. Not all live service games are doomed. That's a bad title. But many of them, yeah. What the crap is that? What is this PS4 stuff? Oh, dude, do you guys remember the PS3 launch? It was so gross. Those consoles were disastrous on release. I don't know. There's probably a lot of good. This might be a pretty decent read here, just for some like nostalgia stuff about old console releases and everything. But we're already pretty deep into the news segment this morning, and there's this is pretty lengthy. So I linked it. Let's check it out. Before I forget, let's pull this up. Look, PlayStation's got a state of play today, guys. I was planning on watching it at the end of the stream today because normally we'll game up until 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time, stream time or channel time, which is when 3 o'clock p.m. 1500 hours is when this kicks off, and we were going to watch it. But because I had to decide to not do gaming content today, we're going to watch the VOD tomorrow. But if you're interested, by all means, check it out while it's live. But if you don't worry your pretty little heads, chat. We will watch it together tomorrow as a VOD between the news segment and doing our gaming stuff tomorrow, okay? So we will still watch it. We'll just watch it as a VOD, okay? But the state of play will happen today. It will happen at 3 o'clock p.m. My time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. UK, 10 p.m. Central Europe. So there are all your times. I'll link this for you guys. They should have some links to the you can watch it on their Twitch channel. There's numerous places you can probably watch it at. They might have a YouTube channel to watch it on, stuff like that. But it's in chat. Don't forget, go take a look if you want to watch it live. All right. But if you don't watch it today, we'll watch it together tomorrow as a VOD. Don't worry. The other thing, War Pips, free game on Epic, okay? Go get your free game on Epic. Today's the last day for War Pips. So you've got roughly an hour and a half left, I think, until War Pips is no longer available. So go ahead and go grab it. And then from later today, in about an hour and a half, through March 2nd, you'll be able to grab Duskers. Cool? Get your free games. No reason not to, man. Even if you're not a PC gamer, you might become one later on. And if you just go to their website, create an account, which is free, other than spending 2 minutes of your time, you can just get in there every week and start creating a library of free games. I have over 200 games in my library on Epic right now. Some very, very good ones, too. I've only paid for maybe a handful. You never know. You might start PC gaming if you're not a PC gamer now, and at that point, you would have a ton of games to play on a platform that you've gotten for free. So why not? Last article I have for the day. If anybody has anything to add, let me know. We'll address it and we'll talk about it. Anything that might be pertinent to gaming, the industry, anything like that. And if we haven't already discussed it or whatever, then we'll have a talk. We'll pull it up. We'll look at it before we end the segment for today. Okay. Amazon Games and NCSoft reached a deal to publish highly anticipated online game Throne and Liberty in the West and Japan. Massively multiplayer title will launch for consoles and PC. The deal with NCSoft marks next chapter for Amazon's rapidly growing game publishing business, as their developing is kind of crashing. Amazon Games and NCSoft today announced an agreement to bring massively multiplayer online role-playing game Throne and Liberty to North America, South America, Europe, and Japan. Amazon Games will publish the highly anticipated title for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S with support for cross-platform play. Throne and Liberty is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game that combines story-driven adventure and action combat. In Throne and Liberty, players enter a vast world with constantly shifting geographical and environmental features that change the course of play. Massive skill player versus player and player versus environment combat are fundamental to Throne and Liberty. Players can transform into animals to soar through the air or explore the depths of the sea. Oh, I need to be a Kraken, dude. And even tip the odds of battle in their favor by triggering powerful environmental effects like solar eclipses or rainstorms. NCSoft has a long history of developing and publishing beloved multiplayer franchises across the globe, including Lineage, Aeon, Blade and Soul, and Guild Wars. Throne and Liberty is the latest next-gen MMO from the South Korean-based developer, and it's first to be released across multiple regions in collaboration with an external publisher. Do they have any links yet? Throne and Liberty game. Let's see if we can pull something up about this real quick. They've already got a map up of the world. Final testing already? I haven't heard anything about this game. Anybody else? Videos? Supposed to launch within the first half of 2023? See this. Show me gameplay, man. I don't want just cinematics. You know what I want? Put your finger in it. No, I didn't want that either. $10 minutes? Check this out.
안녕하세요. NC소프트 김택진입니다. 저는
Just an
오늘
interview?
MMORPG를 좋아하는 게이머로서 TL을 소개하려고 합니다. MMORPG는 정답이 없는 게임입니다. 출발점은 모두 동일하지만 누군가는 보고 싶은 것을 위해 세상 저 너머로 여행을 떠나고 누군가는 세상의 정점이 되고 싶다는 목표로 집단을 만들기도 하며 누군가는 가지고 싶은 것을 위해 부를 축적하고 누군가는 다른 사람과 이야기 나누는 시간을 즐기기도 합니다. 누구든 자기만의 방식으로 다양한 이야기를 만들고 즐길 수 있는 세계. 바로 이런 자유가 제가 MMORPG를 좋아하는 이유이며 그런 세상이 TL입니다. 배틀 커뮤니티를 기반으로 한 전투와 경쟁으로 이루어진 트론. 환경이 살아있는 월드에서 모험과 자유를 만끽하는 리버티. 그리고 국가와 세대를 초월하여 우리 모두 함께하는 엔드까지. TL, 트론의 리버티는 모두가 즐길 수 있는 플레이 포 올을 향해 개발되었습니다. 그리고 이런 TL의 특징을 가장 잘 표현하고 즐길 수 있는 플랫폼이 PC와 콘솔이라 생각합니다. 모바일에서는 느낄 수 없는 MMO만의 가치와 감성이 PC와 콘솔에서 살아날 수 있다고 믿습니다. 그럼 지금부터 TL의 세상을 정식으로 여러분들께 소개하겠습니다.
I like it. Looking fresh, man.
안녕하세요. TL 캠프의 PD 안종욱입니다. 리버티는 TL의 세계를 구성하는 근간입니다. 리버티라는 뿌리에서 시작해서 사람들이 얽히고 설켜 스론이라는 꽃이 피는 것이 TL이 그리는 세계입니다. 월드는 게임의 가장 핵심적인 요소이자 시작입니다. 거대한 하나의 연결된 구조로 만들어진 월드는 사람과 사람, 사람과 세계를 단절시키지 않고 서로 끊임없이 상호작용하게 해주는 토대입니다. 보통 지하 던전이라고 하면 입구와 던전이 분리되고 던전 안에서도 여러 층으로 분리된 공간으로 구성하는 경우가 많은데 저희는 그 모든 공간을 하나로 연결했습니다. 단번에 던전의 마지막 층으로 이동할 수도 서로 다른 층에 있는 유저들에게 도움을 줄 수도 피해를 줄 수도 있습니다. 던전의 안과 밖, 위와 아래가 연결됨으로써 공간적인 경험을 모두가 공유하게 됩니다. 그리고 단순히 필드를 뛰어다니는 것만이 아니라 입체적으로 구성된 지형에서 자신만의 루트를
Why does
만들어갈
it
수
feel so
있습니다.
stuttery, dude?
저희가 월드를 하나의 연결된 구조로 만든 이유는 사람들이 모이고 같이 생활하면서 사회를 구성하고 그 안에서 스스로의 존재감을 찾아가는 것이 MMO의 본질적인 부분이라고 생각했기 때문입니다. 모두가 동시에 게임을 시작해서 같이 역사를 써나가면서 수많은 추억과 경험을 만들고
Like that
공유하는
looks
세상을
better.
보여주고 싶었습니다.
Some of that
날씨와
stuff we were watching
환경은
was like
현실감을 강화하는 시각적인 효과뿐만 아니라 살아 숨쉬며 유저에게 영향을 주는 유기적인 컨텐츠입니다. 살아있는 월드는 환경에 잘 적응하고 이를 활용할 수 있는 유저들에게 다양한 선택지를 제공할 수 있게 합니다. 환경 변화에 따라 지형의 형태가 달라질 수도 있고 생명체들의 생태에
Oh,
변화가
that's
생기기도
sick,
합니다.
dude.
그리고 이런 변화를 통해서 촉발되는 컨텐츠들도 존재합니다.
That's pretty gnarly.
이것은
Weather changes
게임에서
the
설계한
environment
자연 법칙에 따라 개연성을
and
가지고
like makes
일관되게
different kinds of
나타나는
events
현상들이고
happen and stuff. That's pretty
그래서 이
cool.
규칙을 이해하고 응용할 수 있는 유저들은 이런 환경 변화를 스스로 만들어낼 수도 있습니다. 예측이 가능한 낮과 밤은 앞으로의 플레이에 대한 계획을 세울 수 있게 하고 예측이
You guys see the
불가능한
sky
날씨와
whale?
바람은 대응을 요구하게 됩니다.
Yo, let me be a
환경은
necromancer. That's all I
월드의
care
끊임없이
about.
작은 변화, 변수를 만들어내는 요소이며 이 변화들은 월드에 생동감을 부여하고 플레이를 다채롭게 만들어줍니다. 월드의 이야기를 만드는 것에도 많은 공을 들였습니다. 궁극적으로 MMO는 유저들이 만들어 나가는 역사가 곧 그 게임의 이야기가 되지만 그 역사가 펼쳐질 무대를 흥미롭게 꾸며놓는 것도 매우 중요합니다. 유저는 과거와 현재, 미래가 이어지는 시점을 초월하는 이야기를 직접 플레이로 경험하면서 이 세계에 등장하는 수많은 인물들 그리고 그들의 이야기를 알게 되고 이를 통해 이 세계를 더 현실감 있게 느끼고 이해할 수 있습니다.
Sandworm, dude. Oh man, I can't wait till the next Dune movie comes out.
안녕하세요. TL 캠프의 게임 디자인 디렉터
Vincent,
이문섭입니다.
when are you releasing the next
전투는
Dune movie?
MMO의 부정할 수 없는 근간이죠. 앞서 소개드렸던 TL의 월드와 마찬가지로 전투 역시 하나의 결론만을 추구하지 않습니다. TL에서는 어떤 무기를 선택하였는지에 따라 유저의 역할이 결정됩니다. 유저는 게임이 정해놓은 역할인 클래스에 갇히지 않고 상황에 맞춰 얼마든지 무기를 전환할 수 있습니다. 두 종류의 무기를 조합하여 사용하는 것이 가능하며 무기 전환을 통해 강점을 극대화하거나 안정적으로 약점을 보완하는 전략을 세울 수도 있습니다. 이 밖에도 위기 상황이 닥쳤을 때 타이밍에 맞춰 자신을 보호하는 디펜스 액션도 무기별로 존재합니다. 유저는 다양한 기능들을 사용해 전투의 세부적인 양상을 조절해 나가게 됩니다. 서로 다른 무기의 스킬 연계를 통해 궁극적으로는 조합의 즐거움을 찾아가는 과정. 그것이 바로 TL이 추구하는 프리클래스입니다. 유저들이 자유의지를 가지고 전투 참여 여부를 선택할 수 있도록 PVP 규칙을 만들고자 했습니다. TL의 필드는 대부분 안전지역이고 보스나 지역 이벤트 등의 경쟁 컨텐츠가 시작되면 해당 영역이 전투 가능한 지역으로 변경됩니다. 이 경쟁에 참여할지는 전적으로 유저가 선택할 수 있습니다. 내가 위치한 지역에 어떤 컨텐츠가 예정되어 있는지 미리 알 수 있기 때문에 전략적인 플레이가 가능하고 예상치 못하게 PVP 상황에 노출되는 일은 없을 것입니다. TL의 월드는 다양한 특색을 가진 지역으로 구성되어 있으며 각 지역의 이야기를 바탕으로 진행되는 경쟁 컨텐츠가 존재합니다. 이런 지역 이벤트는 해당 지역에 있는 모든 유저들이 참여할 수 있으며 20여 분의 정해진 시간 동안 높은 순위를 차지하기 위해 경쟁을 펼치게 됩니다. 이번에는 길드전을 한번 살펴보겠습니다. TL 필드에는 길드 단위로만 소유할 수 있는 오브젝트인 기원석과 차원석이 있습니다. 이 두 개를 통칭하여 점령석이라 부르는데 이들 점령석의 소유는 길드 전체의 능력 향상과 자원 확보로 이어집니다. 점령석을 쟁취하기 위해 길드 간의 치열한 전투가 펼쳐질 수밖에 없는데요. 전투에서 우위를 차지하기 위해서는 점령석이 위치한 지역의 지형적인 특징을 잘 파악하여 공격 경로를 설정하거나 방어선 구축을 하는 등 밀도 높은 전략이 필요합니다.
Oh my god, dude, that looks like a mess. Jesus.
안녕하세요. TL 캠프 캡틴 최문영입니다. TL을 더욱 TL답게 만들어주는 서비스 방향성에 대해 설명드리고자 합니다. TL의 모든 요소들은 모두를 위한 플레이라는 서비스 방향성과 일치합니다. TL은 처음부터 PC와 콘솔까지 목표하고 개발을 시작했습니다.
PC and console.
각 디바이스에 맞는 전용 UI, UX가 제공되고 또 모바일에서도 스트리밍 플레이가 가능합니다. 다양한 디바이스에서 더 많은 유저가 TL을 즐길 수 있도록 준비했습니다. 그리고 월드뿐만 아니라 캐릭터 디자인에도 글로벌 유저의 요구에 맞게 많은 노력을 하였습니다. 마을 주민 NPC의 표정과 같은 작은 부분까지도 세심히 표현하였고 사진을 이용하여 외형을 손쉽게 만들 수 있는 AI 커스터마이징 기능도 제공됩니다. 또한 플레이 중에도 다양한 스타일의 외형으로 변경이 가능합니다. 수많은 유저가 함께 즐기는 MMO를 목표로 개발된 TL은 최적화에도 만전의 노력을 기울이고 있습니다. 유저분들의 쾌적한 플레이가 가능하도록 힘쓰겠습니다. TL의 메모리얼은 유저들의 진행도에 맞춰 순차적으로 개방되는 다이나믹 컨텐츠입니다. 5년 전 디렉터스 컷 행사를 통해 처음 TL을 소개했었는데 이제 곧 여러분들과 TL의 월드에서 만난다는 생각에 가슴이 벅차고 떨립니다. 관심을 가지고 TL을 기다려주신 많은 분들께 감사드리며 기대에 부응할 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
Interesting, man. I hadn't even heard about this. They've got other movies in here too. I'll link the site for you guys if you want. I got to the top so you can take a look. Is this just rotating? Yeah, there we go. Okay. There you go. If you guys want to take a look. That's interesting. Is it on Steam? On Liberty? Doesn't seem like it. Not yet. What is... I wonder what all platforms it's going to hit on. You would think that if it was coming out on Steam, it would already be, you'd be able to wishlist it already, but let's get the facts real quick. Take a look-see. I mean, they're saying first half of 2023, dude. I mean, this should be coming pretty quick. I'm not really seeing. We'll figure it out. Interesting, though. Interesting. Them's the breaks. Chatterino. Oh, dude. That's the news, man. That's the news. Sorry for no gaming content today. It's one of those things, dude. I need to take a day. Get things sorted life-wise. And we'll be back at it for the gaming content tomorrow. So should be starting up Castlevania Symphony of the Night tomorrow, and then getting into some Bloodstained Ritual of the Night after that. So a couple of Metroidvanias. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a Metroidvania that made me fall in love with Metroidvanias way back in the day. I haven't played it in a very long time though, so it's gonna be quite the experience getting back into that game, as I have not played it in a very, very, very long time. So, I don't know, man. Happy Thursday, dude. The weekend's coming, guys. You just keep grinding. You'll be here before you know it. You're amazing, dude. Thanks, buddy. I absolutely will. You guys are amazing, dude. It always feels bad not being able to be here just like all day with you, but it happens from time to time. I do my best to be here as often as I can, as long as I can. But that's life sometimes. It was a good news segment, so I appreciate it. If anybody's checking out this content or any of our other content, whether it be playthroughs that we've done or nice little highlights and clips, funny stuff, me being stupid, pulling 3-head moves or whatever, highlights on the Twitch channel or VODs on the YouTube channel, then see what you can do about coming and hanging out with us, man. We go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day, 7 days a week. Start all of our streams off with this video gaming news segment before we usually head into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day. And we would love to have all you good, cool individuals coming hang out with us and be a part of what we do here. So other than that, man, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, keep grinding, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for February 24th edition of Video Gaming News. And should be some Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Cool. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.